that was the starting point for talking about my generation. Working with a group of older people who have memories of Sheffield, who may have memories of the 1960s. Then we're kind of talking with South Asian women, two different South Asian groups. And so I think what you're getting there is a kind of a beautiful parallel with the Benny and the Greycats story, which again is about, a South Asian migration story. And here we have two different groups of South Asian women talking about their own experiences of either being in Sheffield or of their own migration stories.
I love the project right from the beginning because myself being a migrant, it really was something close to my heart, and especially when I came to know that I'm going to work with other artists in collaboration, that was the thing for me, and it attracted me a lot. And further, when I spoke with my productions and their background, which was very similar to my Indian background, it all just culminated in something which was very passionate, and I'm cherishing it.
Stories came out a lot more quickly than I thought. People were very keen to share their stories of migration, and a good way to do it is when you're doing something creative, because it comes very naturally. You're not on the spot thinking, what am I going to say? People are just getting absorbed in what they're doing and then chatting as they go. Groups have done work where they've created canvases using collage techniques, and the groups have also worked making mandalas, which represent our connection to the universe. So we thought together as a group that would be quite a good thing to do. We began with Zoom workshops online. We didn't get to know each other maybe as quickly as we would face to face, because it's difficult to see people, it's difficult to chat as well as freely, because only one person can talk at a time and people are more shy.
The point of time when we're doing Zoom sessions with a group of ladies who spoke mostly Bengali and very little English, we were a little initially overwhelmed. How will we go? There was a translator, but then there was a lag. Everybody didn't have the same internet connection.
A lot of the women had to have a bit of a session before we even met on how to use Zoom, which kind of puts an extra barrier in communicating with each other. But again, it was good to meet that way rather than not meet at all.
In Zoom, it was every single word we'll stop and they'll translate, and then there was a lag. So we were scared that they may leave the session because if it goes on like this. We prepared our session, okay fine, this is how we'll do. And when we met them in person and we realized that they speak English, they could understand.
People were really ready to chat and connect. I think the groups really developed in quite a relatively short space of time. Lots of people really needed it. People started to build up trust with each other really quickly and become friends pretty quickly. And also I think by doing other creative activities, it kind of broke down barriers and gave us a chance to share the stories in a way that wasn't too daunting. Yeah, I've been amazed at the quality of the stuff people have produced. It's been really good to see. People have created something and really want to share it with the group and explain what each part of it means, which has been really nice. So it's been a good way to get to know people as well.
So the lingam represents his father, and the yoni represents his mother.
Oh, okay.
Like any good workshop, the workshops have been about bringing out the inner creativity in people. These are really the very first time I've been able to get out of the house, to do something for myself and to do something creative and something that doesn't involve either a visit to the supermarket or to the chemist, because of the three of us at home, I'm the only fit member, relatively fit. And so that means I have to do all the shopping and obviously fetching of medicines and everything else. So this is good.
Okay, next question. Now somebody asked, when you came to this country, you were feeling sad. How do you think it's true most of the time? Not at all, sometime. Or maybe for people, choose one of it. Most of the you go there, so you go, no, but you go like a railway. That's it. You can keep the. You can go. You came to this country wearing ethnic clothes. Railway. As city, how good is Sheffield in making you feel inclusive? Yeah, there were like funny stories, sad stories and loving stories. So the funny story was, this lady was sharing that when she was 19 when she moved to England, and one of the guy from her country, he told that I visited England and this metro, like subway train, they close in 30 seconds, and if you don't come out in 10 seconds, then they crush you and you're split into two. And she showed news article, people split into two. So she was so scared that she told that she never took a metro and she'll walk, because she will always think that I'll be cut into two pieces. So that was really funny, that she thought that you can be split into two. So these are like some funny stories. There were such stories that when people lost their dear ones were traveling, and there was sickness and there was a lot of loneliness. And then there were loving stories, like many people came here through marriage. Most of the participants have migrated in this country through the marriage. Like either the husband was here or the wife was here. And how love conquers all. So they were telling their very personal love stories, that how they came and they had the care and it was a celebration. And then she forgot all her fears and trouble because happy moments. So yeah, they were... and just like the small things, like they were showing us artifacts they carried from their country. Like somebody carried this little iron wok because they thought that it won't be available in this country. It is available, but they just thought. So yeah, the stories, and sometimes when they think back, they think how childish they were to carry those things and not carry something else, something like that.
What is nice about the sessions is that they've tried to kind of include quite a lot of variety within a short time. So we've had Charu, for instance, maybe just spending a few minutes asking us to get involved in some dance movements while listening to some music. Last week we did a tiny bit of yoga, for instance. And Laura has been showing us how to do some three-dimensional art. Yeah, this is the one I did. I mean, obviously there's not been time really to finish them in one session. So I got started with this during the very first workshop, and then I finished it at home. People can obviously interpret migration in so many different ways. I looked at it as a Hindu and an Indian in this country, and yes, I have migrated. This is now my home. One of the basic tenets of my religion, Sanatan Dharma and culture, is a saying we have in Sanskrit, which I've written here, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is one family. And so as a migrant, it's a really good thing to keep in mind, because if you do, then you will be at home no matter where you are, because we are one family. And obviously there's so many implications of that, because it's not just about, loving a new country, a new community, without losing your own, the family left behind or the country left behind. Your neighbor is also your family, and the stranger is your family. So it is a really good thing to live up to and to remind oneself of. I've got this row of people, and you'll see that a few of them, if you look closely, a few of them are missing a leg. At first I was thinking, shall I repair that? And then I thought, no, because actually it's, when I say the whole world is one family, I'm talking about all the races, all the communities, but I'm also talking about including people with different abilities.
Okay, so anybody would like to ask any questions? We'll also come in the ring. Do you think so? Ask any questions.
If there is disaster means all
like
the
flood, like
flood, all the broken things, houses are breaking, everything, you can't stand there. You can't stay there.
Calamity.
And you cannot carry loads of things. What most of the important thing you want to carry with you to go to somewhere else to get established.
Very good.
So
family is going. Family भाग रहे. खाली सामान family जा रही है.
Family भी भाग रही है. So आपको सब family का चीज नहीं लेना.
I check my clothes in.
That's only
money,
one thing.
Little money. You need money to travel, innit?
This is the most intelligent answer.
Salwari.
Some money.
Yeah,
she will take some money also.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between like laptop and and money.
Oh, I take phone with me.
Phone optional.
I don't want anybody to call me.
Phone तो रहेगा ही ना साथ. Okay. Those days I was not ill, so I didn't think about my medicine or my medicine card or anything. So probably now, if somebody asks me, I will include that. But those days I answered, I will take my certificates and some money.
Everybody has taken things which will help them establish, not
Yeah.
which will maybe they need or not will establish.
Start again because you have to. So that was a good question as well.
Yeah, it's a really good
That's
question.
a very good question.
They asked us.
It may sound cliche, but honestly, everybody was positive by at the end of it. Surely, in the first session, people were hesitant, not confident. They had their own mindsets. True, participants told me we need more sessions because it takes that time. I think they liked working in smaller groups because they felt it more focused and personal attention.
I think for me the best thing was that I could give that time to myself, because at home I might start writing, but then I think, oh no, it's time for my, I must take my mother to the toilet or whatever it is. Yeah, so this is a little bit of me time. For me that's been the best thing about it, because that doesn't happen often.
The best thing about this project for me really has been people having the opportunity to share their stories and to learn about their lives and their backgrounds and their experiences.
If you're sharing your own story, I think what it does is it gives you an opportunity to be heard. And actually, that's just really important for all of us to feel like we are heard and seen. For certain people from ethnically diverse backgrounds, you can feel invisible. You can feel that your stories are not out there. You can, that there are no role models for you to follow. So actually, the more people from different types of background who are sharing their artwork, sharing their stories, sharing their kind of, actually having a platform for their own voices, just means that actually more and more people can actually connect with the kind of multitude of people that live in this society.
Even though we learn so much, there are still certain prejudices which only goes when you meet people. So many of my prejudices were removed. Working with other artists, it was really enriching. There were so much of ideas which I didn't have, and they gave me, and the help.
It's been really nice for everyone to be able to share those stories about themselves, and just to really think about the richness that Sheffield has from all different cultures that are here, how much Sheffield's gained from that, and to celebrate the differences but all the similarities that we all share.
As an artist, it's really helped me to become a better artist. And as a person, as a citizen of this Sheffield, yes, certainly that too.